So come into whatever beginning pose feels right for you tonight. Whether you want to use the wall as support for your back, whether you want to stretch your legs out. And just think about what your body's asking for as we begin. So when we find that posture that seems to suit us best, begin to lengthen our spine and get in touch with the movement of our breath. So most of us have been here for a few minutes and maybe the breath is slowed down already, but we watch the rhythm of movement. It tells us a lot about our energy. As we watch that movement, we can see maybe where our stress is located tonight, or any tension or tightness. Just watch that movement and notice if your breath is filling your belly or if you have to consciously direct it. Can you make your breath longer, deeper, fuller? Is it easy for you to close your eyes tonight and settle in? Or do your eyes just want to pop open and look around? So we notice that breath. We ask our online students to mute themselves tonight as you begin to follow your breath as well. Just noticing that gentle rhythm as it rocks and settles you like a gentle rocking chair. Relaxing the nerves, slowing down the energy. The music helps with that as well. Just breathe gently. With that next inhale, begin to lengthen the spine, awareness of that starting in the hips, the base of the spine lengthening as that moves up the back. Chest rises as we breathe in, feeling collarbone lift. Chin gently tucks into alignment with the spine. Shoulders gently fall away and relax. We may want to open our palms upward, or we may find that tonight we want to let them rest downward on our knees, but finding a comfort level for the hands, the arms, the wrist, allowing the shoulders to relax a little deeper. The mind bounces around, watch the breath. Challenge to watch the breath, maybe use the tool of counting as you breathe in and counting as you exhale, with the awareness of lengthening the exhale, making that longer than the inhale. And as your eyes continue to remain closed, open your palms up and let your fingertips gently rest on the mat. Bring your arms parallel with your torso. And open your palms with the awareness, the motion of being ready to receive whatever this class has to offer you tonight. Willingness to take in more of what you want to be aware of, choose to be aware of. And then gently let the arms float upward, just gently floating, reaching up, reaching fingertips towards ceiling, lengthening spine, feeling the muscles along the back body, reaching, stretching upward, and we gently roll those palms out toward the opposite wall and allow them to float down again, very slowly, gently, remembering we've come to a restorative class tonight. Maybe asking yourself, what does your body need in the way of restoration? Roll the palms open again. Allow the arms to gently float up. Reaching fingertips towards ceiling, eventually lifting, feeling chest rise. Bringing palms together overhead and slowly letting those palms drop down through the center channel. Resting in heart space, thumbs rest on sternum. We breathe in just a little deeper with awareness. Bringing to mind what brought you here. You're aware of what you need. Just hold on to what that desire is in between your palms and set your intention for your class tonight. If you're unclear of that, maybe you want to send your love and your energy outward, out of this room to someone else who needs it. But certainly always be aware of your own needs, because we can't give away what we don't have. We gently bow toward our hands and our heart, honoring that intention, desiring clarity for awareness. And whenever you're ready, gently open your eyes. Say namaste to your friends, your family, your sangha that's here tonight, and also namaste to those of you online. Thank you for coming and sharing your energy. So adjust your posture in any way you need to, preparing for a twist. So maybe you want to work with your knees crossed. Maybe a twist for you is a little better if you have one foot out. If you like that form of a twist, let's take the left foot out first, and right ankle crosses over left knee. We sit up straight and tall. We find that balance in the spine. Sitting up with awareness of lengthening the spine again, taking our left arm out in front of us and just taking that across the right knee, and then reaching right palm behind you and gently twisting, remembering to begin at the hips. Noticing the twist as it moves all the way up the spine like a spiral staircase, and then gently twisting your head, looking over your right shoulder, twisting the eyes as far as they will go. Gentle with neck and shoulders here, especially if you hold a lot of stress. Yoga is not about pain. The stretch should feel wonderful. If you're able, take that hand behind your body and see if you can twist that just a little further. Deepening the stretch, remembering to lengthen the spine. Breathing with that rhythm. Release the eyes, the neck, the shoulders, gently come all the way back around. Legs come out in front of you in a gentle forward fold, not forcing. We're not warmed up, but just maybe reaching for right ankle, left ankle toward that direction, just walking that out in a sense. One hand reaches and relaxes, and the other hand reaches and relaxes, and we come back up, preparing to repeat on the opposite side. So right foot out in front of us this time. Left ankle crosses over right leg. We sit up straight and tall, reaching with our right arm across the left knee, and left palm comes behind. Getting that twist low, working that all the way up through the torso, looking out over the left shoulder, twisting the eyes as far as they'll go. Noticing if you have any more tightness and tension on one side than the other. And if it's significant, maybe thinking about why that is. Is it something in your work? Is it the stronger muscles, the more dominant side that's tighter, or the weaker side? Breathing deeply and fully. Seeing if you can reach a little further with the back hand, deepening the stretch. And then release the eyes, the neck, the shoulders, the hand coming all the way back around. Bringing both feet out in front of you and reaching for the ankles. Gentle forward fold, bending the knees here as much as you need to give yourself that lower back stretch, maybe just beginning with that here. And away, and then rocking back and forth, side to side. Loosening up the lower back, loosening up the hips. Then release that, hold, come all the way back up. And the best part, we get to lay down, right? Because restorative yoga is about relaxation. So we lay down, the knees point toward the ceiling. And see if you can roll your middle back toward your mat. Rolling that, that requires rolling the hips upward. Just pushing your lower back, your middle back into the mat, and then releasing that. And beginning to sway the knees back and forth, looking for what you need to loosen up here. Leaving both shoulders on the mat. You might want to try opening your arms up in a T, opening up your palms for a little more stability in the upper body. And just swaying the knees back and forth, feeling the heels roll back and forth here. And then go ahead, bring the knees back to a solid place. Grab a hold of your knees. Pull the knees in toward the chest. And looking for what you need in this posture. Maybe bringing your feet together. And if you can reach through and grab a hold of your ankles or your feet, pull them in close. And a gentle rocking side to side for a little back massage. Loosening up. Physical therapists will tell you it's not one exercise, not one asana or stretch that's going to fix tightness and tension. It's a combination. So we come to class to find the combination, finding what's right. And then bringing the feet up toward the ceiling, lengthening the legs, pointing the toes, flexing the feet, rolling the ankles around in both directions. And maybe swaying the feet back and forth here, noticing the difference in where the back meets the mat, where those pressure points are, where the mat's supporting you. And make some circles with the feet. Be a small circle, becoming larger and larger, and go in both directions. Noticing how that massages the back a little differently. Again, we're looking to loosen up here. And then we'll bend the knees again, pull the knees into the chest, bring the knees out to the side body, seeing if we can deepen that stretch. Pull the ankles around here, stretch your feet, especially if you've been on your feet all day. You really want to stretch them as much as you can. The legs are bent, your back is stretching, your hamstrings are stretched out here. You can really get a good stretch in your feet. And then bringing the feet back to the floor. We're going to take our right ankle, putting it on top of our left knee for a figure 4 stretch, and then bringing our left thigh in, so reaching, pulling that thigh close to you. And go ahead and lift that left leg up like you're reaching for the ceiling here. And if you'd like, you can pull your left calf towards you for a deeper stretch. Just looking at what's right for you tonight. to force anything. And then we're going to let that left foot come back down to the mat. And we're going to roll our hips toward the right, bringing that right knee toward the floor, still staying in that figure four stretch. You might want to grab a hold of your right ankle to keep that posture right here. Bring your left foot to the floor. And then we'll come back to center and roll in the opposite direction. Right foot comes to the floor. Left thigh to the floor. Both shoulders remain flat on the mat. And then we'll let both knees come back to center and both feet meet on the mat. Repeat on the opposite side, left ankle to right knee. Pull that right thigh close into the torso. Noticing the difference from one side to the other. Lengthen the right leg, stretching that up toward the ceiling. And if you'd like to grab a hold of your right calf or ankle, you can go ahead and do that now. And release the calf and roll your hips and both legs to the right. Left foot comes to floor. Right thigh comes to floor. I'm going to stretch out the right leg here. Roll the ankle around. Bend the right leg again. Let the knees come up, roll to the left. Right foot comes to floor. Go ahead and stretch your arms overhead. Lengthening the arms. Letting the knees come back to center, both feet meet on the floor. And stretch your legs out. Walk your heels away. Grab a hold of your right wrist and pull on that right wrist and C-curve to the left. C-curve your legs as well. So walking your heels over to the left. Pulling your right arm over to the left. Looking for that side body stretch. Feeling that in the hip, the thigh. The IT bands alongside the right leg. And if you want to deepen it, you can cross your right ankle over your left. But remember, no pain. It should feel like a great stretch. So back out of pain. Release your wrist, walk your feet back to center and C-curve in the opposite direction. This time with arms overhead, you're going to grab a hold of your left wrist, pull that to the right, walking legs to the right. Looking for that deep stretch along the side body. Remembering to deepen, you can cross the left ankle over the right. Release the wrist, walk the feet back to center. Lengthen the legs, allow the arms to come down to your side, relax your shoulders, roll your palms and your elbows all the way open, tucking the shoulder blades underneath. Lifting your spine just a little bit, bring the knees up again, and just lift the hips. Not forcing, just gently lifting, breathing into the stretch, noticing your thighs, the stretch there, the stretch moving down into the knees. This is a good place if you bring a block along to class, you can stick that block under your hips for a little bit more restorative posture here, and then gently one vertebrae at a time, coming all the way down. Relaxing the lower back, and then roll both knees to the right, grabbing a hold of your left leg, stretch your legs out, pull your left leg closer to the floor. And feeling that stretch in a different way in your hip here. Both shoulders stay as close to the mat as possible. Bring the knees back in, bring the knees up toward the ceiling, roll in opposite direction. The shoulders on the mat, stretching out the legs grabbing a hold of the outside of your right knee, pulling that toward the floor. Not really feeling that stretch, see if you can lift your legs a little higher toward the torso to deepen the stretch. And bringing the legs back in, coming back to center, rolling over to one side. Just gently using your arm strength to come all the way up. Bringing your bolster to the top of your mat. I'm going to start out with a child's pose tonight, bringing our knees to each side of the bolster and pulling that bolster in close. And just gently allowing your body to drape over the mat and over the bolster. Finding a relaxed place for your arms and your shoulders. And just like you started out tonight, following with awareness the movement of the breath. And now if this bothers your knees, make any adjustments you might need. You may want to consider bringing a blanket to class in the future to put that underneath your knees for a little extra support. Sometimes moving your knees around a little bit more space coming out to the edge of the mat or in closer to the bolster, you'll find more comfort. So we allow the support of the bolster and the floor. The music and the energy that's around us tonight. Aware of what comes up in our mind. And aware of choosing to let thought float on by. Floating by like a cloud. with a still and quiet mind, relaxed, aware of the gentle movement of the breath and the rocking sensation as we settle and relax, lengthening our exhales, full deep inhales, breathing and settling. As we watch what comes up and we watch what's easy to let go of, we may also notice what's hard to let go of. What comes back to us over and over again. Could it be acceptance that we're looking for? Or surrender? Something we're powerless over? Are we aware of what we can and can't change? And the stresses that sometimes lodge in our muscles? Those areas that hold tension and tightness. And we breathe into those spaces in our bodies. And as you breathe in, you may choose to give that breath a color or a lightness and brightness. As you breathe into those areas of tension and pain, you can see that lightness and brightness of that energy expanding and moving. So we can use our imagination to serve and relax and still us. We want to act wisely in the world. The first step is to quiet the mind. When we react to insecurity with fear, we worsen the problem. Instead, we can use courage and calm and compassion and peace to respond. Let go a little, and as we let go, we create more peace. And we continue to let go with every exhale. After our next full inhale and complete exhale, we'll begin to prepare with as little effort as possible to use our arms to slightly lift our torso, and lifting our knees, we're going to place our hip, whichever hip is easiest to get to, right against the end of that bolster, and just twist as we allow ourselves again to drape over the bolster in a twisted effect. Maybe trying deer pose with your legs. Your bottom foot comes to your top knee. 90-degree angle with the bottom leg coming out. Just finding that relaxed position for your hips and making any adjustments to your hips for comfort. Making any adjustments to your neck and shoulders. And feeling the wonderful benefit of support. Again, as you breathe into the comfort and the relaxation, looking for any adjustments you need. Find comfort and relaxation in the twist. Adjusting your bolster, your support. Finding what's right for you. As we relax into our twist, you may be aware of the times in your life, or even the times just today, that you had to twist and turn and find comfort. So often we're called to turn in another direction, to see things in a different way. Look at things from another angle. Is it easy to twist and turn? Is it often a challenge? Letting go of how we thought things should be or could be is a central theme in spiritual practice. Letting go is called for. If we have not learned how to let go, we suffer greatly. In the end, we often discover that to love and to let go can be the same thing. Our true nature is love and awareness. And yet at times we forget, which is utterly human. Love must be remade each day, baked fresh like bread. Like gratitude and forgiveness, love can be invited, nourished, and awakened. like to turn your head in the opposite direction for a deeper stretch, you might want to try that now. And if it's uncomfortable, come back to what works best for you. After that next full and complete inhale and exhale, begin to prepare yourself again with as little effort as possible to just switch to the other hip, the opposite side. Remembering that that deer pose, that bottom foot on top of top knee is the best relaxation for your hips in a twist. So a little effort, gently. Allowing yourself to twist over your bolster. The bolster supports you. Find that comfortable spot in your hips, in your back, in your shoulders, and with your arms. Allowing your arms and shoulders to fully relax and settle. Again, we're back in that gentle rhythm of breath, that gentle relaxation. Maybe this time, think of a place in nature. Maybe the breeze is just perfect, the weather is just right, and see yourself laying in this restorative posture, enjoying the breeze and the sounds and the smells. Allow yourself to sink into that awareness. thoughts just floating by on the clouds. They float in and they float out ever so gently. Our muscles relax a little more with every full, elongated exhale. As we breathe out every bit of stale air, we let go. Letting go of what we don't need, letting go of what we don't choose. We teach our mind again and again to let go. Retraining the mind to find that place of peace. We practice stillness. If you'd like to turn your head in the opposite direction, you can go ahead and do that now for a deeper stretch. Always remembering no pain or discomfort. Then after that next full and complete exhale, again with little effort, we're going to rise ourselves up with our arm strength coming up and turning the back of our hips to the back of the bolster. Legs, maybe you want to cross them, it's up to you. Try a few ways, bringing that bolster tight to the back of the hips and just allowing yourself to sink down to a heart opener here, and then making any adjustments to your lower back, to the placement of the bolster, where that just fits into your spine. Open your palms, open your arms, stretch your arms out just a little bit. And find that place of comfort as you begin to open up your heart with awareness, with the practice of breath. Maybe ask yourself, where and how could I open my heart a little bit more in my life? Where is it safe to open my heart? Most of our mental suffering comes from how tightly we hold our beliefs and our thoughts. If we listen from the heart, we see how much trouble comes from believing stories that may not even be true. We form a habit of explaining things to ourselves, creating a story about it. So we ask ourselves, is it true? With mindfulness, we can step out of the story we tell and simply notice the telling of it. With a quiet mind, we notice how we can construct our world through repeating our stories. And we discover the stories are mostly one-sided or untrue. Breathing in that awareness. Perhaps our beliefs are not true. Maybe we need to look a little deeper. we breathe in, we feel our heart expand, expanding with more energy, lightness, brightness, love, and compassion. And as we exhale, we allow that love and compassion to move into the world around us. And also we move that through our own bodies, through our own awareness, our minds, our hearts, our spirits. And so as we heal ourselves, we have healing effects and power throughout the world. As we heal our busy or unhealthy minds, we heal the world with our loving energy and kindness. Breathe that in. Breathe in that peace and that knowing. As we learn to be more compassionate, we find that we receive more compassion. The gate to human well-being and transformation swings open when we practice living with a grateful heart. When we find gratitude, we find freedom and love. Breathe in the freedom. Breathe in that loving awareness. What is your wish or your prayer for you tonight? What is your heart's desire? What is it that you want to bring into your heart's loving awareness and hold in your own heart mind? Allow that to come up. And as that comes up, put your right hand on your heart. And maybe put your left hand on top of your right and just hold that close. Let that fill you. And whenever you feel ready, without any hurry, roll off your bolster to one side. Use your arm as a pillow. Maybe you pull your knees up to your chest. Find that seed posture, that last deep stretch, curling your spine. whatever it is you need, whatever stretch you need right now, go ahead and take advantage of this last few minutes here. And then without any hurry, we have all the time we need. Bring yourself up into a seated position. Maybe bring your hands to your heart space or rest your hands gently on your knees, whatever feels right. Relax your shoulders, lengthen your spine, and come back to that breath that we began with. Breath of seeking clarity and peace. We gently bow to whatever came up for us tonight. Feeling the gratitude for the time and space for practice. And we'll close our practice with sharing namaste with everyone. Thank you all for bringing your beautiful energy.